What's good, folks? We back. Imagine for a moment we still in the Walking Dead world, but the story never shifts to Javier in the New Frontier. Instead, we continue in Clementine's journey, now with AJ as a toddler by her side. But what would that story look like? Would it have been better or worse? Today, we're gonna be diving into that alternative reality. And if you want to see me do a rewrite, let this video hit 15 likes. I do the voice acting and all of that. We're gonna see how it play out. But what if Telltale would have stuck with Clem and AJ the years following the events of season 2? After the emotional ending of season 2, either you with Kenny or you with Jane. If not, you could be alone. But no matter what, it always ends up with Clementine being alone with AJ. We see Clementine hardened by the losses and trials she had to face. And I feel like we could continue to see her grow and struggle with the task of raising AJ. Kind of like how Lee was with Clementine. The story would have shifted from a normal survival story to something a lot more interesting, in my opinion. Listen, now instead of it's we all surviving the apocalypse, it's about a story of motherhood and surviving in an unforgiving world. With AJ still being a child, Clem would have to be forced to adapt. Because if you think about it, her main objection should be protecting him. But with all these threats and human threats walking around, she'd have to make some changes. I feel like one of the most compelling aspects of this alternate timeline is that just the idea of AJ growing up and Clementine looking after him. It would have gave you more of a connection to AJ in the later seasons. And I feel like it would also give Clem a whole nother layer that we didn't get to see. The emotional weight of raising a child in a post-apocalyptic world. It would have been crazy. Listen, it would have shifted the tone of the story a lot. It's not just about fighting for your life. It's about trying to raise AJ into a decent human being while making sure he knows what the right thing to do is. Instead of meeting characters like Javier and his family, I feel like Clementine and AJ could have made new bonds. Maybe these bonds they make could also be from the difficulty of raising a child. Imagine me and another group of survivors with kids, people who remind Clem of the family that she lost, or maybe people who challenge the way that she raises AJ. Cause you already know, there's people like Carlos who don't even want Sarah to be able to defend herself, so there would definitely be some conflict with that. Cause as we know, in the original story, AJ, he know how to use a gun and everything by the age of 5. So by the Marlin shot, we already know he got some good aim. I feel like another key part of this alternate reality timeline, it would have to be the continued presence of human threat. So this is what I'm thinking. We have some unfinished business with someone in Clem's past. And by someone, I was finna say Andy St. John because of a little conspiracy I did. But I'm thinking there's a way that none of them could have survived. So instead, let's get the other number one up. Let's get Arvo to be the leader of this group. Because if we think about it, we never got a clear answer to what happened to Arvo or what happened to Bonnie or Mike. And I feel like they could have explored that in this season the best. But unlike in the New Frontier, where we had a large, complex group with the Garcias, Javier and Kate got their thing going on with Dave, it was all a big jumble of mess. But this story would be more focused on that one-on-one interaction between Clem and AJ. I feel like the tension between Clem's protective instincts and the need for outside help to grow this kid. Over time, Clementine's journey as a mother figure, it would have been just as important as her development as a leader. Her character arc would shift from a lone survivor of season 2 to a protector and a mentor. And over the years, she really become a leader in her own right. With AJ being by her side, I feel like that would really change her as a leader. And I feel like it would be interesting to see how her leadership's evolved if she had to rely on herself and AJ, rather than the large group with David and the New Frontier. I feel like that would be a much more compelling story. Listen, there's a lot of potential for emotional storytelling here. Clementine making decisions that weigh heavily on her because she wants AJ to grow up better than she did. Or in order to protect AJ, she would have to become more cold-hearted and willing to do anything to ensure AJ's safety. Now, let's not forget about AJ. He isn't just a side character. He got the potential to be the cornerstone of the entire narrative, because AJ growing up, it would have been the biggest impact on how Clem viewed the world and how she would act in it. It could have been a great way for AJ to develop into either a cold-hardened survival that ensures that only his safety and his people are good, or he tries to do what's good for the rest of the world. But AJ's evolution as a character could have been an emotional centerpiece. Listen, you get to watch him grow from a helpless infant to a young kid capable of standing his ground, or at least side by side with Clem in a dangerous situation. So what if Telltale is stuck with Clementine and AJ and instead going to Javier and his family? What's the idea of Clem and AJ continuing their journey? It holds a lot of promise. Listen, it would have been unique, and I feel like it would have gave the series more emotional toll. And I feel like it would have shifted. Listen, we got to see Mama Clem, so we get the motherhood, we get the loss of innocence, and we get to see how far Clementine would go in order to protect AJ. Listen, would have been better or not? I can't answer that. But tell me, what do you think? Do you think us seeing AJ grow up in that type of environment would make the story better? Or do you think it's better for him to get kidnapped and we don't even see him till the end of the next season? Until the final season, basically. Which I feel is kind of crazy. But if you want to see me rewrite it and voice act some, hey, I don't know how bad I'm going to be at it, but get this video to 15 likes and I'll do it. If you're into more Walking Dead content, you might want to check out another video I did with the Andy St. John family and the potential that could have been. But with that being said, thanks for watching, and we out. Still rains, hit the subscribe and leave a like. Oh.